Hey everyone, I'll be covering all of the Nintendo Switch's games announced for the first week of April, so let's get started. The city-building open-world action RPG, Sky Climbers, offers real-time progression as you build up your defenses. Pick from one of 3 classes with their own unique skill trees and stats as you survive against the mobs of enemies out on the hunt. Explore a procedurally generated world and uncover an ancient story embedded within, while the option to tame beasts and even elementals presents even more power at your disposal. Behind every brilliant invention hides an incredible story. From the creators of the Fable series, 10 Hearts is an immersive puzzle game wrapped around a powerful take of love and compromise. Discover an epic tale spanning generations and even dimensions as you guide a troop of mischievous tin soldiers through a world of magic, wonder, and mystery. Each of the 40 or so levels offers time-bending riddles, letting you forge new paths and tons of new obstacles to overcome and triumph over. A group of kids are trying to break into their suspicious neighbor's basement to rescue their missing friend. The only problem is that one of the other kids is actually a traitor and something of a secret neighbor in disguise. His job is to gain the trust of the other players and betray them whenever possible, as they collect keys to save their friends from the fiendish neighbor and cooperate while trusting no one. Melty Blood type Lumina is a 2D fighting game that allows players to utilize the skills from the characters of the Tsukihime A Piece of Bluegrass Moon world in full-on 1v1 combat. Over 10 playable characters will be featured from the series and the upcoming visual novel game, each with their own unique movesets and skills. A story, time attack, and even a survival mode are expected, as well as local and online multiplayer bouts. In a tale of opposing powers in a struggle for control, Lumote must possess, jump, and think his way through a world full of puzzles. Taking control of the world's inhabitants and using their abilities to progress a wide variety of platforming challenges. Each of the captured characters' behaviors will either help or hinder you in your journey, all while you delve deep into a 3D puzzle platforming world in your search for the master moat. Originally released late last year in Japan, Shadowverse Champions Battle is now getting a full-on Western release, based on the anime adaptation of Cygames' hit strategic multiplayer mobile and PC game. This brings in a deep deck-building set of mechanics to a whole new platform with a brand new experience and tons of new content, not seen before elsewhere. Collect cards to play either in single-player mode and then take it online to flex your muscle, and build out your perfect deck where unlockable skins and covers can only be obtained via online combat. Experience with thousands of ingredient combinations to create a unique menu of delicious delights and the story-driven adventure life sim, Epic Chef. Cook, craft elements, get to know the civilians, and make a cozy life for yourself as you prepare delicious treats. Take on rival chefs in the culinary clashes to see who's the real cooking king, and simply live off the land, since what you cultivate gets you a higher score during the verdict. Originally released on the PlayStation 3, Lumina the Spelunker is an award-winning series now getting a full proper HD reboot, launching physically in Japan and digitally in the West later this year. This action game has you exploring caves full of mysteries. Over 100 different stages offer different dangers, just like natural environment terrains, creatures, and tons of traps. It's your job to pick up as much loot as possible and make it out either alone or via local and online multiplayer with other people. After the Great War, all humans were wiped out. The only survivors are the decaying service robots and humanoid lizards that were born from the nuclear fallout in the point-and-click adventure game Life of Delta. Delta is a small service robot trying to survive in a harsh environment, but one day he embarks on a journey through the vast post-apocalyptic world in order to find his lost friend across 25 or so different levels. The popular Touhou Magical Girls square off in a tag team 2D combat where characters can dodge upward and downward to set up different attacks in Touhou Huibana, Antinomy of Common Flowers. This fighter brings with it spell cards into the equation, adding special effects to the battles, letting both the active and the assist characters activate them whenever needed, adding yet another layer of complexity where each of the 19 fighters offers something completely different. The Last Worker is a first-person narrative adventure game centered around the struggle of humans in an increasingly automated world. Combining a handcrafted art style and a unique immersive gameplay mechanics, plus a rather robust cast of voice actors joining a heartfelt drama, trying to bring in satire and intense action sequences whenever needed. Embark on a surreal journey retracing the steps of old memories lost 7 years prior. Take on the role of a high school student, Haruto Sotoki, as he returns to his hometown on a quest to recover his lost memories, after being involved in an accident which he knows nothing about in 7 years from now. A game that originally was released on mobile to glowing reviews, and the Switch version will include all of the previously available DLC. The action strategy hybrid that combines real-time strategic events with 2D puzzle platforming stages, Smelter, has you playing as Eve, who embarks on a journey to find Adam. After some ill-met encounters, Eve fuses with a being known as Smelter, gaining incredible power if she actually agrees to help it extend its empire. This allows her to take on the action-oriented platforming tasks that are set right in front of her across the vast open world. Ved is a story-driven RPG with a unique turn-based combat system and roguelike elements. Embark on a magical adventure set in a vivid world with hand-painted visuals. Explore a mysterious set of islands, defeat monsters, master magic, and discover the one and only truth that could decide the fate of two completely separated, never meant to cross paths types of worlds. So Cresta is a shmup, titled and modeled after Moon Cresta and Terra Cresta, two classics in the genre. While being a standalone title, it's also going to be part of the Neoclassic Arcade Series collection in a collaboration with Hamster. Last year it was teased as an April Fool's joke, but this year it turns out to be a real thing all along. Purge mutants with your flamethrower in the twin-stick arcade shooter Sturmfront, the Mutant War Ubul Edition, as you make your way through a derelict cityscape fueled by the sounds of heavy metal and psychedelic electronical tunes. Uncover the truth behind the Mutant War and where it originated as you slay giant enemies and show them no mercy. Savior is an open-world 2D action adventure presented in a clean pixel art style with a fluid parkour and combat. While you gain wealth, power, and abilities, the central task is to rebuild the societies and the world around you. Each of the levels is ravaged, broken down infrastructure, and full of superstitious poverty and chronic disease. Investigate the areas to provide a solution that could provide sweeping changes to the inhabitants immediately, but also in the long term. Take control of a tiny turnip who just so happened to be a menace to society. After failing to pay his taxes and getting evicted, he must go on a quest to pay back his debts. Solve puzzles, meet eccentric vegetables and fruits on your journey to constantly stay fighting to avoid getting taken in. Uncover just what's going on with this massive gardening community and why it's so hell-bent on your demise. In the near-distant future, in a world where arcades are thriving, hungry esports players vie for the glory on the stage of a popular world tour. You're tasked with defeating the rivals, conquering tournaments, building relationships, and uncover the strange conspiracy. The freedom to make a character look however you want on top of the option to date anyone goes without saying. Enjoy a wide variety of mini-games while finding love on your way to becoming a champion. To the Rescue is a shelter simulator that puts you in charge of taking care of dozens of cute dogs in need of a home. Manage the dog's needs in order to maximize their chances of being adopted. This means dealing with diseases, negative traits, raising funds, raising their happiness level, and tons of head pats, while expanding the locale and shelter for the opportunity to take in even more puppies. Grow exotic fruits and merge them together to produce fabulous potions that earns you gold, force you to grow your shop, and lock up even more unique characters, each with their own unique skills and traits in Potion Party, a party game that's set to release on April 8th. Play with friends via co-op in local environments for up to 4 people, or take it to the versus mode to see who's got the best brewing skills in the land. And that's the thing Amenazos will be covering this week. With the fiscal 2020 behind us, it is expected that Nintendo will finally reveal what their actual plans are heading into the summer and the fall season for the Switch. The rumor mill is still going crazy over the alleged Nintendo Switch Pro, but all the talk of a new online experience with the more classic consoles being added to the drip feed that is Nintendo Switch Online is also expected. I think that what I find more interesting to hear about is what games are actually they're planning to release this year. There's been little signs that they've been working on anything other than what they've already announced, and simply have focused on other things outside of their gaming world, like the theme park and even mobile for all that matters. So I definitely understand why some fans are upset and hoping to hear more about the games that are expected to release this year that we simply don't know anything about. If you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!